Hey everybody, how's it going? Today, let's take a look at this 2021 Land Rover Defender 110 panel van 3 litre D250. And this is going to be a full, in-depth tour of the Defender. We'll start it up, show the engine, as well as show you the features on the interior, as well as exterior. And before I begin, I'd like to give a massive shout out to the Junction Autopark, located in Llandudno Junction, North Wales, for allowing me to come out and film this car. For more information regarding current inventory and contact info, please check out the link in the description below. And so, without further ado, let's get it started up and let it run. It's a wrapped matte black exterior with black cloth interior. Has just over 7,000 miles on the clock. Fires right up. Has an 8-speed automatic transmission with sport mode and manual shift. And when you select reverse, brings up your backup camera with guidance lines, as well as your 360-degree view camera. And we'll go ahead and turn on the automatic headlamps, fog lamps, and the hazards. Both the windows are automatic, and we'll go and check out the exterior, shall we? "20-inch wheels, finished in black. Has been a while since I've done this generation of Land Rover Defender. You also have front and rear parking sensors. Has a 3-litre turbo diesel straight 6 engine. Puts out around 250 brake horsepower. Not exactly sure what the 0 to 60 at top speed are. Power locks, power windows, power mirrors. Manual seats with side airbags. And we'll go ahead and here she sounds. Does sound pretty good. Not bad at all. Dual zone automatic climate control. Fan speed. Individual temperatures for both sides. Different zones. Sync. AC on and off. One touch automatic. Recycling. Front defrost. Rear defrost. And your heated seats.
That's a big one, the three-legged race, a chance for Team Melbourne to get back in the game. Back to you, Charlie.
Different stations.
Oh my gosh, I've got to say, I've been watching.
Decent sounding audio system.
Will be the right mechanism for you, and so everything from regular explosives to thermonuclear devices. And the other thing for
.co.uk/membership.
oh, come on. Oh. Well, just like a detonator as a way of very accurately picking your moment to kick things off. So it sounds like
Favourites?
the accuracy, the controllability of this electric arc was something like an unlocking
FM/AM, DAB digital radio.
Lots of other different things. It seems to have so many different applications. Yeah, I mean, that's my feeling about it. Herta Ayrton didn't invent the arc. The arc lamp was
Settings.
She just improved it. And
Traffic
she
announcements.
didn't invent these applications using the heat of the arc, like
Sound settings.
and cutting and launching. But what she did do with the arc lamp and with the arc generally is really get under the skin of every last thing.
Phone.
About it, how it works. And it's, she said herself that when she went about researching it, that there were a lot of isolated facts, and what she wanted to do was pull them all together and synthesize them into something that totally understood how
Navigation.
and how to control them and how to get the biggest efficiency out of them. And she did that, and I would argue that that has been the foundation for all sorts of technologies that followed, in some cases 50 or 100 years later. And it's not necessarily the glamorous end of science where you can say, here is this person's massive discovery, but arguably the more useful end, maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things about engineering. Engineers are inventors, but one of the big things that engineers do is improve things, is to continuously improve something that already exists. And I think that's a really important part of engineering. She did a lot of taking something that was already known about, but pulling together all sorts of disparate facts and making
Destination.
sense of it instead of just bits of it. And she has this incredibly methodical approach as well. She has these experiments where she alters one tiny thing and then repeats that and then alters something else just to see what's going on there. It seems like a perfect set of experiments. Yeah, one of the things that I really like about Herta Ayrton is that I feel like she is this incredible role model for engineers, that the way she went about things is classic engineering behaviour, very, very logical, methodical, thorough, meticulous, and I've read
And settings.
some of her research that it's been very hard to replicate just that degree of...
It's pretty much your standard Land Rover infotainment system.
She was doing, and so I kind of...
So it's pretty simple to use.
She just looked at everything, and so with something like the arc, she understood that it wasn't just the electrodes, the material, the distance between them, but it was also the voltage, it was the type of current, but even it was the atmosphere, it was the air, it was the temperature, and so she looked at all of those things, but as you say, she didn't sort of fiddle with them all at once, she just meticulously looked at one at a time until she had a complete picture. And her
Activation of your cameras.
that kind of methodology over and over again. And it's a perfect engineering role model, and I wish that we could all be that thorough. Why do you think she's not so well remembered or written about today? It's kind of frustrating. It was a bit of a shock for me when I was asked to talk about her, and I kind of thought, how hard can this be, and went off to research her. And it is a bit shocking for someone who's been named as one of the 10 most influential British women in the history of science by the Royal Society, and yet
Various trip information.
much written about her, and even if you look at the number of articles that come up, most of them say just the same few things. So
Eco
I'm
tips.
kind of frustrated by why that is, and I could tell myself that it's because she was a woman and that they just weren't reported on in the same way. She certainly found that even for some of her patents and
4x4 info.
inventions, she struggled to get recognition
Diff lock.
in her own right, and her husband worked really hard at staying out of the way.
Weight sensing.
He was also an engineer, and he quite often got the credit for things that she'd done. Marie Curie had the same problem, and so maybe...
Terrain response info.
I don't know, but I think her legacy as a woman engineer it is really inspiring, because when you read about the kind of obstacles, the outrageous
And so on.
obstacles that were put in her way, and the good nature with which
Low traction launch.
she kind of sorted them aside and just kept doing the right thing. In fact, she was just unstoppable. She was so driven by curiosity and the desire to make a difference in the world that she just did it anyway. I love that. That was Naomi Clymer of the Institution of Engineering and Technology, IET. It'd be easy to look at her
Auto stop start. Hill descent control. Your DSC or dynamic stability control. And low range.
A glamorous invention, maybe, but one that was hugely significant to Edwardian society.
Different terrain response settings.
In the streets, but in
Comfort.
factories, cinemas and theatres.
Grass, gravel, snow.
Light helped create a new after-dark world of working,
Mud ruts.
shopping and exploring.
Sand.
Her
and rock crawl.
invention had
an electrified future. And through her detailed and thorough understanding of arc lights, or, if you prefer, her ability to tame lightning, she
Eco mode.
sparking life into detonators, 3D printing, and maybe one day rocket launchers for space travel. Like her arc light, Herta Marx-Ayrton was both brilliant and steady.
USB inputs.
She lived and breathed engineering best practice.
And power outlet.
In fact, through her determination, curiosity, and, it has to be said, with the help of a supportive husband and money to pay a housekeeper, she kept calm and carried on. Herta Marx-Ayrton was very good at what she did. Nothing could make her flicker. Not the snubs of the Royal Society, or
Auto dimming rearview mirror.
not ill health, not the continuing fight for suffrage. So,
SOS emergency roadside assistance.
back on that Edwardian street in midwinter, staring up at the bright, stable arc light, listening to make sure there's no trace of a hiss or buzz. Can we imagine her, in that moment, feeling a quiet sense of satisfaction in a job?
Audio controls, hands-free phone controls, and cruise control.
Science Stories was presented by Naomi Alderman and the producer was Anna Buckley. Call You and Yours is in just over half an hour here on Radio 4. Here's Peter White to tell us what's coming up today and how to get in touch.
Today we're asking, how are you coping in the heat? Everyone's been talking about the current heat wave, with parts of England hitting record highs and extreme heat warnings in place. Do you live somewhere with a lot of plate glass? Have you devised a clever plan to keep cool? Have you changed your work or travel plans? And are you worried about someone vulnerable in the heat? Or are you concerned about the way these messages are being given? Let us know how you're coping with the heat. Call now 03700 100 444 and join me, Peter White, just after the midday news.
Peter White there. And that number once again, if you'd like to be on today's programme, 03700 100 444. Call You and Yours is in just over half an hour here on Radio 4. But first, what makes techno the perfect music to accompany radical ideas? Ash Lauren investigates.
Do not touch
Pretty amazing vehicle.
the next 5 hours for extraterrestrial forces. The known enemy is in lower regions.
Let's go ahead and shut her down.
This story begins with an alien.
Let's go and check out the rest of the vehicle, shall we? Absolutely massive loading bay. Well viewers, thanks so much for watching this in-depth tour of this 2021 Land Rover Defender panel van, and a big thanks to Junction Autopark for allowing me to come and film it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and peace out.